Alright, picture this. We're all feeling the squeeze, taxes are on the rise, and we're watching our government scramble to make up for a colossal fiscal gap. But here's the kicker. It didn't have to be this way. Rachel Reeves and PM Keir Starmer could have taken a different path. They could have been upfront and honest in the general election. If they had, we might be breathing a little easier about what taxes Reeves might target next, and maybe even have a little more respect for the Labour Party today. Instead, Labour fell right into a trap laid by the outgoing Conservative Party, a simple, obvious trap that backed Labour into a corner. You see, Labour promised not to hike three big taxes: income tax, national insurance, NI and VAT, and those three alone bring in nearly 2/3 of all UK tax revenue. Without those options on the table, Reeves is left scrambling to fill a massive £22 billion hole. And the irony? If Labour hadn't made that promise, this fiscal gap could have been an easy fix. But here's how the Conservatives set the stage. When Rishi Sunak and Chancellor Jeremy Hunt took over after the disastrous Liz Truss term, they froze income tax and NI thresholds up until 2028. That was a sneaky tax hike in disguise. And even with the Tories' attempts to soften the blow with last-minute NI cuts, voters weren't fooled. They still showed the Tories the door. But those cuts left Labour facing a daunting deficit. So, what should Reeves and Starmer have done? Imagine if they called Hunt's bluff right then and there, exposed his silly games with the nation's finances. Just reversing those NI cuts would have saved Labour £20 billion per year. More than enough to plug that £22 billion hole. Simple, right, but they didn't dare. Instead, Reeves has proposed scrapping the winter fuel payment for 10 million pensioners. A £1 billion save that's far from solving the big issue and ends up alienating half the nation in the process. Now, she's eyeing other sources: capital gains, inheritance taxes, and even employer pension contributions. One cut after another, one broken promise after another. And here's where the real problem lies. By dodging that first brave move, Labour is now tangled in a web of cuts, losses and tax hikes. All for what? Rachel Reeves, all you had to say was, "I will reverse Hunt's bogus NI cuts," and that's it. But now, here we are, left to deal with the mess. And that's why voters feel the way they do. So what's next for Labour? Can they find the courage to make the bold moves? Only time will tell.